the fight was not getting any less intense from the previous chapters, and after Hisoka's excellent play, we just had to get the rundown on why it was so effective. We just had to know that a bowling ball in a man's head just had to be about the same weight, and add to that being fully rounded by aura, the man's head just had that much more lethality. We've seen abilities that have lethality with 50 kilogram yo-yos and such. But I have to take it from the guy himself. If he says this is lethal, I take the head is lethal. Pause. And lethal it looks because it knocks the shrimp out of Chrollo. But not only that, Hisoka then throws the one he had in his hand back around just to knock some more out of Chrollo's head. This one went directly for the head, even though he blocks it. This was full of aura. Getting knocked away by the second one, he even slides a bit since it's so strong. Hisoka's taunting him and letting him know he hasn't let go of the book apparently. And the crowd goes crazy because this is the first time we see Chrollo getting hit. And that's a surprise, to be honest. Here it is, Hisoka's taking the initiative, but it doesn't take long before the puppets get back on him. But he is ready this time, and he shows that he's ready. Readies up that elbow grease, gets that arm stronged up, and get that head ready, and just throws it at him. Pops and pops heads all around him, and even look face this time. And as more come, he's still throwing around the head full speed and kicks away puppets just so he can use the head as a perfect weapon to pop other heads. He's just knocking them out real easy. This time no struggle seems to be happening around the puppets, but he has an eye on Chrollo in the back, still seemingly suffering, and throws the head at him, but he dodges it even though the crowd is running wild still around Hisoka. He tried to make a sniping move. They exchange looks, and Hisoka makes it come back, popping up some heads on the way back. Bungee gum really is useful in that way that he can just throw the head and bring it back like a yo-yo, like Killua used to, but even more versatile because he can just use it like a rope, then switch the rope mode to an elastic mode, just a perfect whip or anything else he wants to do. He notices that Chrollo went away and escapes in the crowd again, but he's not following yet. He keeps his mind on the puppets, and he's knocking them one by one easily. They are not even getting close, but as he's knocking them, he notes that if he just beats all the puppets that are currently active, he won't be maintaining the stamp, and he's going to change strategies. Probably he's going to make some more copies with gallery fake, and he doesn't want to end up in that loop, and he throws again that hunter hunter in the language of the hunter. Now he's counting them down, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, and just knocking heads till it's only one left, and he just slashes that one, but only slashes the arm, rendering it pretty much harmless, no pun intended. He locks that one in a headlock, just keeps him as an hostage, but also to see what Chrollo's next strategy is going to be. He sort of keeps him as a watch, so he knows what Chrollo does, if he deactivates or does something else. And he notes that as long as this one exists, Chrollo's actions will be limited. What good next move can Chrollo make? Keep stamp activated and give a new command to the waiting puppets, or deactivate the stamp and make more copies puppets with gallery fate, and then activate the stamp and issue new commands, or change his appearance using convert hands with his left hand. Now Hisoka is wondering which of those two options will he most likely be picking, but as it goes, he sees that the stamp disappears from the puppet he's holding, and so he concludes that it is option B that he has chosen. He's looking around, keeping an eye on the crowd. Now, knowing that convert hands allows him, yes, to change appearance, but has to use 2 hands, and at the same time he's thinking that he cannot just go around using gallery fake on the crowd anymore, because the crowd recognizes him. The reaction from the crowd is going to be attracting Hisoka's attention, so he keeps an eye and tries to see what Chrollo's next strategy within that option 2 is going to be. He's thinking that he must find him real fast before he has the time to use something like convert hands or anything of the sort. Hisoka ends up making this conclusion that if he has to make the copies, he's bound to go where he already has copies on standby, so it makes it easier to make some other copies. So he looks around. Then he finds a shadow of a man running around that might have been seen by the audience and just goes at him. Now, some copies have not been stamped yet, so if they are on standby, he can just come and stamp them. But Hisoka goes where he thinks he might be. We see that it is actually Chrollo. Chrollo is running away and Hisoka's right after him. Chrollo's having a hand in his pocket, probably holding the book inside. Hisoka throws the attack, but he gets dodged. The head misses, but it hits the crowd real hard. Now the crowd's agitated and tries to run away from it because it's going mad. They are part of the show by this point. Hisoka does notice that he has his hand in the pocket and the other hand is hidden, but from his judgment, Hisoka concludes that the hand in the pocket means that what is activated by now is Black Voice, and he probably is using Black Voice because Hisoka is the one that cut off his initiative of Plan 2, and by arriving, he's changing it up and has now to keep distance. Hisoka keeps throwing the head, but still keeps on missing. But he's thinking there is no holding back. Throws it, misses. He slashes it around. Again, one of the multi-uses of bungee gum because he has so much mobility of the head. And we see him say, bungee gums shrink. This time it was actually put on the audience that was trying to run away from the whole commotion. He says release from the floor. 5 members of the audience are thrown at Chrollo using bungee gum, which Chrollo is hella surprised by because all of the momentum that the people get by running away is now turned into power that is going to be thrown at Chrollo, and it slams into Chrollo. Hisoka already gets ready with his bungee gum and the head, which feels pretty much like another limb, special limb that can just do all types of things. Throws it full speed at Chrollo, but Chrollo manages to dodge it, even behind the crowd, limiting his movement. But that was not it. He did not miss. He was throwing another one at Chrollo's feet, grabbing him by the feet. He was letting him know that that was already there when I sent the audience flying. Chrollo's looking at him. Hisoka's looking, but then he isn't as happy anymore. He realized something is wrong. He shrinks the bungee gum, brings the Chrollo, throws the head on his back, bashes it. He's feeling it. That's hurt. Bashes the Chrollo to the ground, finishes him off with the head right in his stomach. It's big damages. Whatever that is, whoever that is dead. Chrollo is dead, but we already see that the smoke is coming up. Something is going not so good. We see a man that is definitely not Chrollo. This is Convert Hands, and as he checks up on the man, he realizes that Black Voice on. He's looking at the head. He realizes that it never disappeared and he's been keeping it all this time. Really, the true trouble of the whole Sun and Moon ordeal was not just that they never disappear without an explosion, is that whatever they are attached to cannot disappear without an explosion too. Chrollo's plan really does go that much deeper because beyond its use as an explosive or an attack, Sun and Moon ends up being a binder of abilities that he can now keep on the playing field even though he doesn't have the book open on that page, which honestly cuts out a lot of his own weakness, but also truly tricks Hisoka, who thought he understood what was going on. In the end, Hisoka realizes that truly the true danger of Sun and Moon is not in its attack capacity, but it's in its restriction by death, at least in its place outside the book. And on this crazy twist, this crazy detail that wasn't explained per se by Chrollo, at least not in a direct way, we learned that the fight really had another profile beyond what Hisoka was looking at, because all the options he was picking were based on what he was given, but he wasn't applying it like Chrollo is. And we see here the difference between their intelligences, because Chrollo really developed to understand people to the point that when he understands an ability, he understands all the aspects that might be predictable or not. Hisoka followed it by the book, quote intended. Chrollo really played outside the box. Anyway, just to say that that was a master play, and we're really seeing the true piece of the play right now. Now, this was pretty much Hisoka's chapter as he was really dominating the fight, seemingly. but we get to learn that there was something that he was not seeing, and that's the beauty of it. I think that's where I'm gonna end it. Thank you for the watch. Keep it tight, and that's it. Thank you.